Good morning. You catch us this morning practicing tummy time so that we can crawl. Yeah. We working on the crawling? We're trying. Say we're trying. I have dinner in the crock pot. I'm trying something new. We'll see if it turns out. I just kind of like came up with it on a whim. It's just like chicken. And I'm gonna put some rice with it, but we'll see. It's the seasoning that counts, and it's the seasoning that I just randomly came up with. So we shall see if it turns out any good. So we are at home right now. I don't think we'll get out until after his like next nap. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just hanging out. I'm trying to get this boy to crawl. He just You're gonna get there, don't you worry. Yes, you will. Say yes, you will. Say, I've got this. Yes, I do. I've got this. Okay, so while Atlas is taking a nap, I am going to make some turkey apple meatballs for him. It's a recipe that I got from the Solid Starts guides that I purchased. So let's see. The first thing I need to do is grate an apple. So I've washed and I've cut it, and now we're just going to grate it. Okay, so there's my grated apple. Never grated an apple before. That was an interesting experience. But anyways, next I'm going to add the egg, 1 egg. And then I'm gonna add the turkey and the flour. So you need 2 tablespoons of flour. Any sort of flour works. If I had thought about it, I would have got almond flour, and I could have introduced a tree nut to Atlas, but it's fine. I had just all-purpose flour. Got this open. Okay, then we need some garlic. And some onion. Also, the oven needs to be preheated to 400 degrees. So now I am going to mash these ingredients to make, obviously, into a meatball. So I will say, I've never made meatballs before. Like, not actual meatballs. I mean, I've formed hamburger meat in meatballs, but I've never like added flour, eggs, like any of that to it. So this is kind of disgusting. We'll see how these go over with Atlas. This is really cold and gross. But anyways, he's just like not real into food. I don't know. I'm trying not to like worry about it too much because he's like not even 9 months old yet. So we still have like, 3 months or so before he like needs to be eating like food. Right now, obviously, it's a lot about just like introducing and like getting him used to foods, but I will say that's like one of the downsides to social media is it's like I see all these babies like close in age or the same age eating way better than he does. So, okay, that's a big piece of apple. Don't want that. Okay, so I have mushed it into mush, and now we're gonna line a sheet of a baking sheet, and we will get to making them into meatballs. Okay, so it made 12 meatballs, and this is what they look like before. It said about 2 inches, so I just guessed. Now I'm gonna put them in the oven for like 10 minutes, it says, and then to like roll them for another 5 minutes. So while they cook, I am going to unload the dishwasher so I can load all the dishes that I just dirtied. But yeah, I like these so far because you make them in the oven, and so I don't have to like sit at a stove and watch them. But Atlas is napping right now, so it wouldn't have mattered, but still, I like this better. Okay, so the meatballs are done. Here they are. I cooked them a lot longer than I was supposed to. So I checked them at 10 minutes and they were still like mushy. And turkey meat's just hard in general because I feel like it never like browns up quite like you expect it to. But I flipped them and I did 10 more minutes. I mean, I think I altogether, I don't know, probably at least 30 minutes because I did 10 minutes each side. Then I did it a little bit longer, and then I literally just like turned the oven off and left them in there because I checked the centers of like them and they were cooked through. It's just they didn't like look like they were still pretty mushy. But I will tell you, this is what the parchment paper looks like. Yeah, I think it's a combination of obviously just the turkey meat and then the fact that like apples have juice in them too. So anyways, those are cooked. They smell really good. That'll probably be like dinner for Atlas, is I'll give him one of those. The nice thing is like they can freeze, like I can freeze them, or even like they're good in the just refrigerator for a couple days. I'm not entirely sure. I will say that's one thing that I really like about the solid starts stuff is that they, oh, and of course I got off of it. It tells you like how you can store stuff and for how long you can store stuff. So I definitely appreciate that. The other nice thing is it's all numbered. So like, see there, like it's like number, I don't know, 29. So like when I get back on the page, like I can click on it like because it lists them all out first thing. But this says airtight container for 4 days in the fridge or in the freezer for 2 months. So that's really nice because that's been my biggest issue. It's just like the preparation of the food. So I would like to get to a point where like I have a reserve of food, because like if they're in the freezer I can just de-thaw it real quickly in the microwave to feed him, because my biggest fear is like we're not going to get to the point where like he's eating enough food by the time he's a year old. And I know that that's still several months off, and babies change and develop and, you know, get into things so much quicker. Not so much quicker, but just like I mean, in a month, like, we could be in a totally different spot with the food. So I just am saying this as reassurance if there's any other parents out there watching this who like wonder, you know, what their baby should be eating. Oh goodness. I'm just here to remind you that not all babies eat the same. I wish it were that easy, and I feel like every baby is going to be different. Like, even every child I have is probably going to be different, because I do feel like each child, like, obviously by the time we have another baby, Atlas is going to be eating 3 meals a day. So it's like, I'll just give the baby food from Atlas's plate. So it's like, it almost like gets easier because you're not having to like do it from scratch. Now these like meatballs are like something like I would probably eat. I like the idea of like adding apples to it, just because it adds an element of nutrition to them without expecting them to like eat an apple. I would probably, see, that's one of those things, like, I would never just like put an apple in a meatball. I would have just like made a meatball for him to eat. So I do like that, and a lot of their recipes are like that. Like, they add elements of like other nutritional things. So yeah. I also have some broccoli that I got that I need to just like steam up and have like cooked and ready to go along with the meal. But yeah, I'm about to get Atlas up from his nap. We're gonna have a bottle, and then we're gonna go to Sam's. Try to brave it. I really hope it's not that bad. At least as bad as Sunday. Sunday was crazy. But I just like Sam's because like their prices are good, and they don't just have food. Like, I feel like they even have like options, like present options for people. So I'm really excited about that. So we braved Sam's again. The lines weren't as bad as Sunday, but I still was not really willing to wait in them. But I did find a lot of gifts for like other people. So I still count it as a win, and I just did like the scan and go. Look who's sitting up playing. Did you have fun at Sam's? Atlas. Hi. I don't know that it was so much a mistake, but I was hoping that he would fall asleep in the car because we were like kind of close to his nap time. And so I drove like a longer distance home, hoping like he would go to sleep, which he didn't. And we got home like right at like 4 o'clock. And usually he's like down like around 4, and then like he's asleep pretty quickly, and then I get him up at 4:30. Well, I think just like the switching from like the car to in the house, even though we went straight like to his room and did like nap time routine and laid him down, he still like at 4:15 was not asleep. And I was like, oh no. I do think he went to sleep after that, so I think he got, you know, a 15-minute nap because I did still wake him up at 4:30. But I was like, oh gosh, this could have been a mistake. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm still hoping like we can at least make it to like 6:15 before he's just like ready to go to bed. So because I just think it's like more helpful. I found that like he does better. You like my foot? But anyways, we're just kind of killing a little bit of time, kind of letting him like, I like to call getting wiggles out. Sir, do you want to go in? What I like to call get some wiggles out before we head to Target, because literally I think I can finish my Christmas shopping at Target. So I'm just like, I could wait to do it tomorrow, but I'm like, I just kind of want to do it to be done with it and just like not have to think about it. So yeah. What are you doing? Getting your wiggles out? But he was just in his car seat for like a good portion of his last wake window. So I was like, well, we'll do this. We'll go to Target, and then when we get back, I'm gonna have him try the meatball. And then, you see Gizzy? And then we'll just like hang out until Briar gets home. Gizzy? Say hi, Gizzy. Gizzy cat? Gizzy cat. So this is the aftermath of a meatball. It's kind of hard to know like how much he actually ate. He's drinking some water. It's hard to know how much he actually ate just because I don't see any like on him, but like he broke it all up. But I do know he had some in his mouth that he did swallow, because I was kind of afraid that he was gonna choke on it. Yeah. And I was like, I've got to check your mouth before I get you up, because obviously I don't want him to have food in his mouth. So I got him, I was like, and he was laughing and opened his mouth, and he still had some in there, and he didn't spit it out, and it's no longer in his mouth. So that means it only had one place to go. So meatballs might be the way to go. He also had like an orange wedge. He loves to chew on a good orange wedge. So I'm pretty impressed with how the meatball went over. So it's always that second time though, because he did this with the little egg muffins too, and then like the next 2 times I could have cared less. So we'll see. Briar is putting Atlas to bed, and I'm finishing up a little something for us to eat for dinner. Oh, we had a very busy day, but very productive day. I finished all our Christmas shopping, and so I felt like it's very productive. But I'm tired, and Briar's tired, so we're probably gonna eat dinner and then just like go hang out in bed. So I'm gonna end the video here. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I will put the recipe for those turkey balls in the description, so if you're interested in that, it'll be right there. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.